Welcome back, my people, for more math time with Mr. Massey. Today I got a quick icebreaker for you. You ready? Hold on to your shorts. How do you know when you're in a math teacher's garden? Because all the trees have square roots. Da-doom. All right. Hold down the applause. All right. So today we're going to venture into some quadratic formula problems, and you better get used to these things because they're everywhere. You're going to see this on the SATs and the quizzes and tests coming up in my class, so let's get going. Show these guys who's boss. So off the bat, you're going to have some things in standard form. If you guys remember, standard form is always ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. From standard form, like you got in this guy, we're going to identify our a, b's, and c's, pop them into this formula, because that's our quadratic formula. It's going to spit out an answer, all right? Now, a couple of things that are very, very important. This guy under the radical in this monster, this guy right here, this fella under the radical in my little pink circle, he's going to be known as your discriminant. Discriminant, all right? And the discriminant can tell us a few things. Off the bat, without doing any major math, we have three scenarios that the discriminant tells us how many and what type of solutions will be spit out of our quadratic formula. Now, with this guy here in the pink circle, our discriminant, if he's positive, right, greater than 0, if he's positive, that's going to indicate that we're going to have two real solutions. Two real numbers. They're greater than 0. All right. If our discriminant, if that guy equals 0, that's only going to be one real solution because 0 is a real number, but you're only going to have 0. All right. Down here, if the discriminant is less than 0, that's going to spit out some funky ones that we talked about earlier in this chapter. That's going to spit us out two complex solutions. Those are the ones with the i's, you know, like plus or minus 3i, yada, yada, yada. All right. So whenever you have a quadratic equation that you can't solve via factoring, you just want to get right to the points, the quadratic formula is kind of like your master key. It unlocks all the locked doors. So if you're having troubles with any quadratic equations, pop your numbers right into this guy. It'll always spit you out the right answer. All right, so let's get moving. What I got for you is I got some colors and I got some questions, and I want some answers. All right? So in this example here, I want you to help me identify our A, B's, and C's. Off the bat, what's my A? Scoop. That's a 1. I think I heard somebody say it. How about my B's? What do you got? That's a 10. How about my C's? Did I hear a 9er? Yeah, 9 will do it. So once I've identified my A, B's, and C's, all I have to do is substitute them or replace them into this formula wherever I see their corresponding letter. So let's write this guy out. So what I got is I got a negative b to start me off with. So that's a negative b, negative 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared, aka 10 squared, minus 4 times a, just that 1, times c, just that 9, all divided by 2 a's, or just 2 times 1. All right? That's my first step there in blue. Now what I want to do is I just want to use PEMDAS to tidy this thing up and solve it. See what I got. So let me change colors. See what we got. So let's tidy this thing up. So we got negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared looks like 100. What do we got over here? We got 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 9 is 36. So it looks like I got 100 minus 36 under the radical. You guys okay with that? Yeah. All right. And all that's going to be divided by 2. Scoop. All right, let's keep tidying. What else we got? Let's change colors to orange. Looks like I got a negative 10 plus or minus the square root of, what's 100 minus 36? All right, I can't wait anymore. That's a 64. All that's going to be divided by 2. Man, these things are dreadful. Let's keep it moving. We're almost there. Keep simplifying. What's the square root of 64? That's an 8. So I got a negative 10 plus or minus 8 divided by 2. Now here's where I lose some people, so check me out. What I want to do is, I want to do two things. I got two different colors here. Since I got this plus or minus symbol here, that means I have to do two equations. I have to do negative 10 plus 8, and then chop them by 2. And I also have to do, here in, let's do orange, I have to do negative 10 minus 8, and then chop it by 2. So help me out, we're almost home. So negative 10 plus 8 is what? That looks like it's going to be a, let me keep the colors correct here. So negative 10 plus 8 is a negative 2. Then I'm going to chop them by 2. So that's like a negative 1 is one solution for me. Now I got this guy in orange, right? I got negative 10 minus 8. So I got negative 10 minus 8. What's that? Negative 18 divided by 2? That looks like just a negative 9. So here, what I got is I got two solutions. I had a brain fart, I got stuck for a second. But here I got two solutions. I got x equals negative 1 and x equals negative 9. So over here I'm going to put my little solutions, and I'm going to double check my work and see what I got. These are my two answers, just if you're playing along at home, right? X equals negative 9, x equals negative 1. The reason why I was stuck is because if we try to factor this thing, let's see if we can factor them. So here, what I got is I got x plus 1 and x plus 9. And then if I solve these things to change the signs, oh, be darned. X equals negative 1, x equals negative 9. So here our solution checks out. But this time, we solved it the long way using the quadratic formula. So this is the tricky step right here. Whenever you have that plus or minus sign, hit them with both. Negative 10 plus 8, chop them by 2. Negative 10 minus 8, chop them by 2. Home free. All right, we got una mas. And then I'll let you guys go. Back to doing your thing. All right, let's fly through this one, please. Please. All right, what's my A? 2. What's my B? 4. What's my C? Negative 12. Yeah, the high-pitched voice guy's back. That's a negative 12 for my C. All right, keep it moving. Help me out. So if I plop these into my little formula, I got a negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 A's. All right, here we go. So if I'm tidying this thing up, let me change colors. Hold up. So I got negative 4 plus or minus the square root. What's 4 squared? I think I heard a 16. I'll take it. How about over here? I got negative 4 times 2. Negative 4 times 2 gives me a negative 8, right? Negative 8 times negative 12 gives me a positive 96. Yeah, I'll take a positive 96. All right. And all that's divided by 2 A's. In this case, my A was just a 2, right? So that's going to be a 4 here on the bottom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need your help with this one. I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need it fast. So what I got is I got negative 4, right, plus or minus the square roots of what's this? That looks like 112 divided by 4. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to change colors, and I'm going to solve this thing. Let's simplify them up. Look at this monster. So once I'm here, I got to tidy this thing up. That is not a perfect square. There is no clean number. That's the square root of 112. So I'm going to chop this thing up, try to manipulate it, all right? So what I got is I got negative 4 plus or minus. If I chop this thing up, I should have something like this. I know you're thinking, whoa, where'd all that come from? So all I did was I took 112 and I chopped them up into different factors. And the factors that I chose were 16 and 7, simply because 16 is a perfect square. 16 spits out a whole clean number that I can manipulate easier. What is that whole clean number? Oh, 4. Awesome, that spits out a 4. So let's see what we got. So tie this up one more time, different color. Now we got 4, negative 4, plus or minus. You said that was a 4, right? So I got 4 times radical 7, all divided by 4. So this one's not going to clean up just as lovely and nicely as our first one. So we got to make some adjustments with this guy. Let's see what we can do. So what's going to end up happening is we got to divide all these things by 4. So what's negative 4 divided by positive 4? That's a negative 1, right? Then I got to bring down my plus or minus symbol, right? What's positive 4 divided by 4? That's a positive 1. And this thing over here, well, he can't really do much, so that's going to stay the same. So here, since we got 4 times radical 7, if you divide that by 4, you just got regular radical 7. So here, I'll take this 1. You can leave that 1 or get rid of it, whatever you prefer. It's the same thing. But once you're here, ladies and gentlemen, these are my 2 solutions. Quick recap. Since you got right to this step right here, this square root of 112, since 112 is a positive number, that indicates you're going to have 2 real solutions. And here they are. Negative 1 plus radical 7, negative 1 minus radical 7. 2 real solutions. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's the quadratic formula broken down.
Yeah.